So if you don't know the city of London, you might look at a street like this and go, oh my goodness, I should buy a house here. There are historic homes with lots of character and charm. And honestly, most realtors will just let you believe that. However, 4 streets away, you might not realize, is the homeless camp with people doing hardcore drugs just out in the open, middle of the day. We are gonna get out of the car today. We're gonna walk around and explore some of these streets in London in different neighborhoods so you can really get a feel for what it's like and if you would really wanna live there. We're gonna look at the best school in Ontario. Okay, not London, Ontario. And we're gonna look at beautiful, new, large homes. A lot to show you, okay? Let's go. So where we're starting off today, all the houses around me here that you see are between the ages of 0 and 5 years old. So, I mean, they're toddlers at best. It's a really nice area in the southwest corner of the city. It's very safe. There's a new school they're building right here, walking distance from all the homes in this neighborhood, and it's close to the 401. Although, there is one reason you might not want to move to this area, which I'll cover in just a minute. First though, let me show you where we are on a map. Okay, so if this is southwest London, this here is Talbot, which is where we are. Do you see the circular road right here? That's Settlement Trail. That's the oldest road in the area where you get homes that are like 20, 25 years old. We're back here in this box. This is where all the new ones are. And the price range you're gonna find for a lot of these homes, at the lowest, you're looking around 1.1 million. At the highest, I mean, I guess at the highest, it's like 2 million, but I rarely see them sell for that. Most are gonna sell 1.1 to 1.5 million dollars in this area. The price is gonna really depend on the size and the finishes, okay? So now here's the thing. For a lot of these, don't trust the asking price, okay? In this market, some of these you can get like $100,000 off the asking price. Not everyone, but some of them you can. And if you need help navigating that, you can feel free to give me a call. This is what I do for a living. I get calls from YouTube constantly, helping people decide where in London that they want to live and how much they should actually be paying for some of these homes. So that's my phone number right there, right in front of this house. Give me a call or shoot me a text and we can start a talk from there. But again, there's a reason you might be cautious about moving here, which I'll explain in just a minute. I gotta tell you, the parks in Talbot are pretty cool as well. So this is a walking path that meanders by some ponds through this area. Actually, do you remember the ring road I showed you earlier, that big circular road? The center of this is all parkland. It's wooded area, it's ponds, it's wildflowers, and it's beautiful. Like, this is a very quiet, except for the lawnmower going off right now, this is a very quiet, peaceful part of the park. Like, if I'm quiet right now, you can probably hear birds chirping. There's ducks in the pond over there. There's the kids throwing a little line in over there, fishing into the pond too, trying to catch something on a summer afternoon. There's walking paths all through Talbot that are just beautiful and peaceful and shoved in amongst all the wildflowers. I mean, look at this, it's beautiful. Okay, it's a little louder than normal, but this is the new school they're building, by the way. This will be done by September. So they're working hard to get it finished. This is White Pine Elementary School. Walking distance from all the houses we just looked at in this area. And all the other schools around here do really well. So like Lambeth Elementary School is just down the way there. That's got an 8 out of 10 rating from the Fraser Institute. I don't expect this to be any worse if I were to hazard a guess. By the way, the school we were just at is going to have a capacity of over 800 students. So it's going to be a huge school, which also brings me to the point I was going to make about there is a reason you might not want to move to this area. Let's go back to the studio. So this farmland right here will soon be homes, and then the same with this farmland right here. In fact, if we look at the satellite view, everything you see here will one day, I don't know when, but it'll all one day be homes. And so congestion in the area is going to rise. In fact, the day that I was out recording, this article was released from CBC explaining that the farmland directly across from the school in this neighborhood I showed you has been approved for 206 new single-family homes, 38 townhomes, and 5 high-density apartments.
Congestion is definitely going to rise in the area, and that's why, again, the school is being built for 800 kids for such a small area. It looks small right now. It won't be eventually. The roads will get a bit more congested. That's just something to keep in mind for the area.
We will get to the #1 school district in all of Ontario in just a sec. First, I wanted to swing by Old East Village because it's sad really, because this is such a cool area, but I don't want you to get bamboozled, okay? All these homes behind me, these are all historic homes. And on the front, they have like a plaque that says like the year it was built and who the first owner was. It'll be like, oh, John Phillip was the carpenter in 1860 and this was his house, which is really cool. It's also relatively walkable. There's a lot of bike lanes. There's farmers markets nearby every weekend at the Western Fair District. And you have Canada's largest entertainment complex nearby with like trampoline parks and breweries and all sorts of fun stuff like that. However, also nearby is the Dundas and Adelaide homeless camp, where there's people doing heroin out in the open at like 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. There's violence in the area, and they wander back in through the streets of Old East Village. Because that's like the only thing holding it back, because this is such a cool neighborhood. So many of these owners take such good care of their property. They're beautiful homes with a lot of character. And so if you wander into an open house and you don't know the city, you might be like, oh, what a great area, not realizing all the drug use right around the corner.
An affordable, awesome area of the city is on the way at the end of the video. And you know right now that the market is in the pits, right? Like we're in a recession, prices are down. That won't stay like that forever. If you want to stay up to date on the market, I do send out, not even once a month, a video market update. Just when there's something interesting to tell you about, I put out a video. Sometimes that is once a month. Sometimes it's like I skipped like 3 months because just nothing's going on, okay? I won't spam you. I hate spam, all right? You can sign up there's a link in the description down below. Just put in your email and you'll get that whenever there's news about the London real estate market.
So welcome to Orchard Park. That's where I am right now. And I'm actually starting off kind of pricey because some of these, as you can see, are on giant 110 feet wide lots backing onto a forest. It's a beautiful area. Also, the school in this area is currently tied for #1 in Ontario in terms of how students perform on province-wide testing. So I'll talk more about that in a little bit and I'll show you the school, but first I just wanted to take a walk down Doncaster here so you can just get a feel for this area. I mean, there are some beautiful homes here, mostly just brick head to toe. They can get pretty large. And again, a lot of them back onto Medway Valley Heritage Forest. So if you look on a map, to show you where I am here, so this is London, this is Northwest London, this is Wonderland Road. In this area, so this is Orchard Park, Sherwood Forest area right here. Again, the street I'm on right now is Doncaster, and there are cheaper streets I'll show you in a minute where you can get something for $750,000, $800,000. This is more expensive. Just the size of some of these. I mean, some of the bigger ones are 4,000 square feet above grade that are just built in a way that they don't build them anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like these modern homes are squeezed on 35-foot wide lots, and they're narrow and long, and sure, they've got the quartz countertops and they got modern fixings, but the style, the architectural style and the layout of a lot of these older homes are just something you don't get anymore. A formal dining room with eat-in kitchen, with living room, with a formal living room, with a fireplace in a lot of these. You just don't get that all the time anymore.
Just a couple more thoughts. This street, I'm on Witchwood now, by the way, really has a forest feel to it. All of Orchard Park area does. I mean, some of these houses, I don't know if you can see, you can't even see the house because they're covered in trees on the front, but it's a beautiful forest feel, not like this overgrowth, terrible, neglected feel. It's just such a beautiful street. And like I said, large 2 stories with head to toe brick. The drone footage doesn't do anything. You got to get down below the canopy of the trees and really take a walk through the street and get a feel for how beautiful it is.
And of course, I've mentioned it a million times, but you also have Medway Valley Heritage Forest right here in this area, and it's a beautiful thing to have. I think most of this neighborhood is a 2-minute walk from these trails. People go for a jog in the morning through here. People go take their kids and their toddlers for a walk through here. You can spot all sorts of wildlife, including deer and chipmunks and beaver. And as you can see from here, I don't know if you can from the camera, but a lot of these homes that we showed on Witchwood actually back onto this forest, and they have a walkout basement. So even if it looks like a ranch, it's actually a 2-story house essentially, and you can walk right out onto the trails. It's a beautiful area. Now, I did promise you a more affordable street than Doncaster and the streets that back onto the forest, and this is a pretty good example. So if you look on your map and you see Foxchapel and Abbey Chase and Longbow, these streets are a lot more typical of what you find in this area, where you get houses between 2,200 square feet and maybe 2,600 square feet.
Hey, side note, does anyone else think this house reminds them of Homer Simpson's house? I mean, other than the color. There's quite a few of them around here. Anyway, back to the video.
A lot more side splits, bi-levels, and of course some 2 stories and ranches as well. The price here is going to be $700,000 to maybe $1 million or just over, depending on the size of the house. But what's funny is even the ones that are like $700,000, they still have like 80-foot wide lots. Like, look at this ranch here behind me, right? Like that's a very wide lot. You're not on top of your neighbor like the new neighborhoods. That's just what you get in some of these older areas. And you'll also notice that some of them are in great shape and they're beautiful and they've been renovated, and others, they need some work. Maybe the owners have gotten old because they've lived there for 40 years and they just can't upkeep it like they used to, and maybe it's almost time for a new young family to move in. But that's kind of the yin and the yang of these older neighborhoods.
Hey, it's Studio Ryan. I forgot to actually walk by the school, so I thought I'd take this time to tell you about Orchard Park Elementary School. So it's JK to grade 8, and it is currently tied for the #1 school in all of Ontario in terms of how students do on province-wide testing, okay? So every year in Ontario, grade 3s and grade 6s have to do the exact same test all throughout the province. And then they rank the schools based on the average test score at each school. Orchard Park tied for #1. So there's 3,036 schools in Ontario. Orchard Park tied for 1. I mean, that's insanely good, okay? So if you want to be in this school district, right here, this is the actual school district. So this is where you need to buy a house and to live to go to this school. Now, most of that is what I've already covered in this video, except for this little bit up here, which actually has pretty affordable homes, although they're small and not as nice, but a lot of them are semis, but up in this little corner. All of this area in Orchard Park goes to Orchard Park Elementary School, and it is a fantastic school.
Do not forget about these northern streets in Byron, okay? So now I do run the risk of talking about Byron a little too much on this channel. I realize that, but I need to include it again here because I really think in this budget, this is the best option for a lot of people. This is a great area of town on the western side, very safe, very nice, great parks nearby, great schools nearby. I think you're gonna be better off here than you are with a slightly bigger home in a worse neck of the woods in London or any city. So these typically end up selling between $575 and $675, depending on how big the yard is, and some of them have really big yards. And you know, how updated it is inside and how big the property really is. But you're mostly gonna find 1,000 square foot bungalows with a finished basement, and the basement will have an extra bedroom and bathroom in there. So total for the house, you're looking at like 4 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. In my mind, that's like the perfect starter home or something for a small family. And like I said, you're gonna pick it up between $575 and $675. If that's your budget. Again, your other options are townhomes, which could be great. I mean, they're nice and new usually. However, when the market takes a turn usually, they're the first to feel it, and they don't have the same appreciation as you have on houses like this behind me. Warbler Woods is a large wooded area with walking trails, a lot of paths in there, not too far from where we are. Springbank Park, I've talked about that before. Our largest park, it's beautiful. That is literally walking distance from these homes. And then of course you also have Bowler Mountain here in Byron as well. There's a lot to like about Byron, and you know you're buying a house in a good area that will receive good appreciation over time. If you need more help figuring out where in London you want to live, where's right for you, for your price range, where's the best bang for your buck, it's what I do for a living. That's my phone number right there on the screen. I get calls constantly from YouTube. You can as well. Feel free to reach out, shoot me a text, or give me a call.